This is part 2 of Fundamentals of Catering, and this part focuses on education and training. When people are starting a business, most of them will go to school and get some type of classes. Sometimes the restaurant owner is also the chef, and a lot of times the restaurant owner doesn't do any of the cooking and hires the chef and the cooks to come in. Either way, they need to have had some education, whether you're the chef, the sous chef, a line cook, or the owner, so that you're guaranteed that the business will succeed and make money. There are many opportunities to do this. One is certificate programs. Certificate programs are part of the formal education, and they are the quickest and easiest. They're usually anywhere from a year to maybe a year and a half, depending on how many classes you take at once. They are offered at junior colleges and occasionally at universities. These programs seldom, if ever, have any general education requirements. You're simply taking the classes that are in your field of study, and you're not taking a lot. It's kind of a skimming over to give you a good educational base, but not to go into deep depth on any of them. These programs will start you at the lowest salary of the three parts of getting a degree or education. The next one is an Associate of Arts. This is usually a 2-year program if you're going to school full-time, and this has some general education requirements, which is why it is a degree, as well as those classes in that field of study in which you're interested. And again, you're not diving into real depth in any of them. You're getting your feet wet in all of them. And this degree will probably be the next highest level of starting salary there is. The third type of degree you can get is a Bachelor of Arts. And this is a 4-year degree. It has the full gamut of general education requirements as well as all your specific field, and in those you will dive into a lot more detail and become more proficient at all of those. And this has the highest level of starting salary, generally speaking. Now, we did not put it on here, but you can go ahead and get a master's and a PhD. In the culinary industry, most people go and get some job experience before they go back to school and get those advanced degrees. The next way you can learn for this is to be an apprentice. An apprentice, what you do is you're in an apprenticeship program, and you are the apprentice learning, and you will work usually with one person who is often called the journeyman, and they will train you. That one person you'll be their assistant, and you will help them, and then you will gradually start doing everything they're doing until you have learned the program. There's also corporate training, where you're being trained to work in a corporation by that corporation. And again, corporations have full-fledged, catering departments sometimes. They'll have cafeterias. It all depends on the size. The military definitely has lots of chefs that work for it. They have military personnel that work in the White House, at the Pentagon, as well as all the military bases across the world, because all of them have catering opportunities and cafeteria. Most of the time, their chefs and their cooks on that are in the military, so those soldiers are trained, and that becomes their job in the military. And then there is also on-the-job training, where you would apply for a job, probably as an entry-level line cook, and you would receive training as right there on the job and get your feet wet right away in the world of work. Now, what's going to happen is every table is going to research one college. Table 1 is doing Triton. 2 is doing Chic, which is Cooking and Hospitality Institute of Chicago. 3 is Kendall. 4, Robert Morris. 5, Johnson & Wales, which is on the East Coast. And 6 is the Institute of Art. And what you're going to do is divide up the work at your table. One person can, or you can divide it up how you need to, but you're looking up location, meaning what's the actual address of the school, their website. Do they offer, what types of certificates and degrees do they offer in the culinary field? What are the requirements to get into the school? What test scores, what tests, what classes must you have already taken? What is the cost of tuition, and do they have financial aid available? What types? Do they have housing available, and what does it cost? What extracurricular clubs and activities are available for their students? Is an internship required? An internship is when it's kind of like student teaching. In order to get the degree that you're studying, you would have to get a job out in the field, and it's usually for a semester. Some degrees might require a year or so many weeks, where you're actually getting on-the-job training related to the degree. And there will be an instructor at your college that coordinates that for everybody. And not every school requires it, so that's dependent on the school and the program. And does that school offer opportunities for you to study abroad or in another company or another country? What you're going to do then is your teacher has shared with you the Culinary College research presentation. This is a blank PowerPoint that has 2 slides for every college. And you will go in there and enter your data into the presentation so that when everyone's done, everybody has the information. If you need additional slides, feel free to add additional slides for your college. And then your instructor has shared the grading rubric for you so that you can see how you will be graded on this. This presentation is for 60 points. And if you have any questions, feel free to talk with your instructor.